So this initially was all recorded all the way back in early November. I held off on it for so long because my initial plan was wait until the end of the month and just do a compilation or compile all the videos related to game development I did for the month into one video. I didn't record anything after this. So I decided to wait until December, but either because of my recording commentary slump or the holidays, something, I didn't record any game development vlogs in December either. So I figured might as well share this now rather than never. So I hope you enjoy. Hey, so I haven't really felt ambitious enough to make YouTube shorts on my game design progress as of late. But between videos and live streams, there were some things that I did talk about related to my game design progress. So I figured I'd make this little video to summarize all that, especially because I'm not too keen on the audio quality from the live stream. For one, I think my game's coming along far enough that I should finally start looking into some visual elements I've been ignoring up to this point. Big one that comes to mind that I've been working on of late is trying to do something for the title screen. I'll flash two of the attempts I did on screen now, but despite my efforts and the time it took to make the drawings, I'm not too happy with them, so I don't think I'll be using either of these for the final title screen. And it doesn't help that I attempted this after a pretty botched recording session, so I was feeling especially discouraged after all that, and haven't really attempted to try again afterwards. I know I can make something better than just a black screen, but I've just been struggling to visualize what I want it to look like at the moment. Like I said in that live stream, I have been working on stuff, but on top of just not feeling motivated to do the video editing for YouTube Shorts to document it, especially for accomplishments that are so minor that they're not even worth making a video out of. But also because the things in particular I made as of late are things that I really want people to experience in context, so I'm hesitant to spoil them. At least for now. There was one thing as of late that's in the perfect range of not too minor but not too major that I can actually talk about, and that's with some updates I did to the wind jump since the last short. To add a bit more depth to the wind jump besides just being a glorified double jump, I updated the code so that the wind jump and anything wind adjacent can also blow away bushes. So now, on top of a horizontal and a downward vertical way to deal with obstacles like bushes, you now have an upward horizontal way as well. And in the process of trying to get that to work, I improved the code that determines how bushes get burned, so the air dash works a lot better than it did previously. That's the simplest way I can explain it without going too deep into the details. For those who care about the details though, essentially, how bush burning works is I have a separate object on my player object for detecting when you're running near bushes. Actually, I have two, now three. One for the horizontal movement of an air dash, one for the vertical movement of a stomp, and now one that's directly above the head of the character for the double jump. I programmed these to turn on and off when using the power respective to that particular collision box. When the bush object collides with these collision boxes, the bush runs a code and will have a self-destructive action, quote unquote, depending on the type of bush it is. So bushes instantly disappear while running an animation, while time objects like logs will have their timer triggered. So in the past there was some minor bugs, so minor that I was gonna just ignore them, where if you're too close to the object it can act weird, not burn properly, or just flat out cancels your dash animation because you're too close to it. But with how much I've learned since first coding that dash attack to now, I've actually figured out a way to actually make that process a lot more smooth, via temporarily just disabling all physical collision of the bushes, so that the character goes through them even though the process of the bush burning is still in effect. It's a little hard to explain because technically I was sort of doing that, but this does it much more efficiently. Technically there's still room for improvement because now that happens with the air jump, even though I fixed it with the bushes. But that's so minor in the grand scheme of things, I'm not sure if I'm gonna bother getting around to fixing it. Though, thinking out loud, maybe I should double check to make sure I'm doing the process the same way as the dashing, because it's a similar issue to what I was having with the dash before. So if it's as simple as just repeating that process for the collision box for the air jump, then I might as well fix it. Oh, unrelated to what I was talking about on the live stream, but since recording and talking about my game design progress anyways, I want to flex the awesome work I've been doing with the options menu as of late. Like, literally the last time I was working on the game, which I believe is the 10th of November, I updated the level select. Instead of the old-fashioned way of literally loading levels from the previous versions of Firebrain Dash, I finally got around to incorporating the new level select code that I made for Kremling Blast, into this game, with a few tweaks along the way to improve it even more so. I still got some work to do with it because I want to implement a way that you can see right from the level select whether or not you got all the my cookies in a level, and maybe a few other miscellaneous things like making sure you can't go to levels that you haven't already beaten yet. But I am extremely proud of the progress that I've made so far. So I want to make sure I get that note in this video series somehow. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. I've been messing around with the character speed, so Sarah now moves significantly faster than she did in previous builds. There's definitely enough going on with this behind the scenes to make a whole short of this alone, but long story short, I don't want to make her too fast for multiple reasons I'll get to another day, including the fact that I do want to keep this game accessible to people more on the casual side. But I did get some inspiration from an outside source to just try and see how she feels going a little bit faster. And I'm pretty cool with this slightly faster speed, so I'm gonna stick with it for now. I do want to dive more into talking about that another day, but I do want to at least make a footnote about it now, just in case it takes a while for me to get around to that. That being said, just because I haven't felt up to making videos about it, doesn't mean there hasn't been a lot going on with the development of this game behind the scenes. It's just a mixture of really being in a commentary slump the past couple of months, and just getting to the point where a lot of the elements I'm working on in my game development journey are things that I'd rather keep as a surprise rather than just vlogging every little detail that I make about the game along the way. I'm considering making a video going over the development I made in December, at least that I'm willing to share, but I'm also pondering on just waiting until I have something bigger to share. We'll see how I feel once I feel a little bit better and willing to record, because talking more than I need to on a sick day like today wasn't the most brilliant idea I had. I just really wanted to add some context into why this footage is outdated. For now, I'll just say there's been a lot of updates behind the scenes that I'm just waiting until I polish things up a bit more to share. Some that you may see sooner rather than later, and other features that I initially was going to share a lot sooner that I changed my mind and decided to keep in my back pocket till not quite the back half of the year, but pretty close to it. It'll make more sense when you see it in context. So thank you all for watching. I feel bad that this is the only video that I have to share in the past couple of months. And I can't even assure you that there's going to be any sign of me getting back into the swing of things anytime soon. But I'm really banking on the fact that once you really see all the progress I've been making on this game in action, everything will be worth it. Until then though, take care.